Okay, so when you get to your yoga mat, we'll just take a couple of seconds to kind of breathe and get into our bodies, like a little bit more aware of our bodies. So you're going to take your knees out nice and wide, bring your big toes together, walk your arms out in front. If the floor feels a really long way away, you're more than welcome to cross your arms or either stack your hands and like rest your forehead on top. Grab your block, maybe rest your forehead on those. If none of that feels good and you'd rather kneel, then kneel. But either way, kind of just take a second to become really quiet and still. And take a long breath in and a really nice long breath out. So again, take an inhale. Trying to make it as smooth as you possibly can. So no ridges. And then do the same on the exhale, try not to force it or rush it, but just slowly release your breath. So again, full breath in. And slow breath out. Do one more, full breath in. Full breath out. When you're ready, come all the way up to hands and knees. When you get to hands and knees, we're going to do some shoulder protractions and retractions. So your hands are about shoulder distance apart. You're going to take a breath in. On your exhale, I want you to push the floor away as much as you can. Now you really try to focus on that space between your shoulder blades. So rather than like move the whole of the back, hips stay fairly still and the push really comes from the hands, so you're doming between the upper back. And then we take a breath in and release that. So on your inhale, it's more like you're pulling your shoulders back and squeezing your shoulder blades together. And then we'll go again. Exhale, push the ground away. Dome your upper back. And then inhale, squeeze. Like you've got a pea in between your shoulder blades and you're trying to catch hold of it. Go again. Exhale, press away. Inhale, squeeze. One more. Exhale, press away. Inhale, squeeze. Okay, sit back on your heels. We've done these before. You're going to spin your right palm so it faces up. Bring your left arm so it's kind of left hand so it's kind of like holding onto your right set of ribs. So you're kind of like gluing yourself in. And then I want you to think about this movement coming from your shoulder. So it's not just kind of just coming from your wrist or from kind of from your elbow. Anyway, I won't bother. So I want you to think about it coming from here. So you're going to send your thumb down. So like externally rotate from the shoulder. So you're sending your thumb down, 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 down. And then you're going to slightly slice it across yourself. Take a breath in. Exhale, draw your ribs down and begin to take your right arm up and overhead. Don't worry if the shoulder lifts, but if you begin to bend your elbow, or if you feel like you can't go any further, that's okay, good. Begin to spin the palm so it faces forward. Then out towards the right, and as you do, take a big back stroke, circling all the way around. Keep that left hand on your right ribs until the back of the hand finds your bum. And then we're going to reverse the movement. So your right hand moves back behind you until you feel like it gets stuck. So your palm is facing to the sky. Think about moving from the shoulder. And then you're going to begin to spin your palm out to the right hand side. Really externally rotate from the shoulder as you circle all the way back up and land where you started. Okay, let's do one more. So palm faces up, holding onto the ribs. Spin the thumb side of your arm down as much as you can. Movement comes from the shoulder. Slice it across yourself. Take a breath in. Exhale, draw everything down and begin to raise the right arm. And spin the palm out towards the right. Big back stroke. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep spinning the hand until it finds the back. The back of the hand finds your bum. And then reverse. Hand moves back behind you. Good. Begin to circle the hand to the right. Big, big circle, up and over. Keep revolving from your shoulder and then come all the way to where you began. Okay, let's do the same on the other side. So this time, right hand holds onto your left set of ribs. You draw everything in. Your left palm is going to face up. So spin your left palm up and then think about moving that left hand side of your arm down towards the ground. Take a breath in. Exhale, spin, and then begin to move your arm up to the sky. When the arm bends or you can't go any further, totally fine. Begin to backstroke. So spin your palm so it faces forward. To the left. Keep going, keep going, keep going until the back of the hand finds your bum. Reverse. Hand moves back as far as it can go. We're not spinning the rest of the torso. And then when it's as far as it can go, begin to spin your hand to the left. Move from the shoulder, keep going all the way up and end where you began. One more. Exhale, draw the ribs down. Left palm spins up and it slices across yourself. Arm comes up to the sky. As far as it can go, and then begin to big circle, palm faces forward. To the left, all the way to the back of the room, and then the back of the hand finds your bum. Reverse, hand moves back behind you. Big circle to the left, all the way up, and end where you began. Lovely. We're going to go back to hands and knees. So we're going to go back to those protractions and retractions. This is our last little bit here before we get into the drills. So one more round. We're going to do a few more this time, but this time you could do it from plank if you would prefer. So we're just going to practice this because we are going to do it in our drills. So if you're here, fine. If you want to add a little bit more, you could take your legs back a little bit. Make sure that your weight is still over your hands. So we're not kind of shifting the weight into the knees. We're letting the weight be forward, or you could come into full plank. In fact, let's just do 5 because we're going to do these properly in a minute. So take a breath in. Exhale, press the ground away, dome the space between the shoulder blades. And then inhale to squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, dome. If it gets too much, drop back to your knees. Inhale, squeeze. 3, dome. Squeeze. 4, dome. Press into the hands. Squeeze. 1 more. Dome and squeeze. Sorry, dome and then squeeze. And release. Good. Sit back on your heels, take a big breath in. And then really big breath out. Okay. You rest for a second. I'm going to show you what our drills are going to look like. So your first drill is going to be a hollow hold. So the main thing that we're focusing on here is this kind of dish position with the body. Sometimes, we spoke about this last week, but sometimes when we go up into forearm stand, we tend to kind of like dump into our lower backs. So what we really want to do is kind of encourage the ribs down so that we're keeping the core engaged and we're not turning this into some big back bend. So, good practice for that is a hollow hold. So your first level of a hollow hold is going to be bringing your knees to about 90 degrees. So you've got this 90-degree angle here. And from here, you're going to draw the ribs down and in. Really press your lower back down into the ground and reach your fingertips towards your toes. Really think about curling the body in and gluing that lower back to the floor. If that feels too much, you can bring your hands on your knees and your head back down, but you're still thinking about the same thing, ribs in and lower back pressing down. If you've got a bit more, you can straighten your legs. If you've got even more, you can drop the legs down. If you begin to get like a big arch in your back or your lower belly kind of pops up and you can't really feel that engagement anymore, take it down a level. I'd rather that you felt the engagement than went to like some super hard level. Our next exercise is going to be the leg lifts that we did last week. So you're going to have your block and you're going to come into dolphin. So your block is in between your feet. Hands are going to come down, interlace your fingers, round your upper back, tuck your toes, lift your hips, and then step up onto your block. Now if this is enough as a hold, you're going to stay here, your knees can be bent. If you feel like you've got a bit more, you're going to play with raising a leg and putting it back down. Raising a leg and putting it back down. And that's going to be the drill for now, and we're going to work on kicking up afterwards. And then our final drill is the protraction and the retraction that we just did. So you can do it on hands and knees, or you can do it on plank, but you're moving the space between the shoulder blades. Okay, we're going to do 20 seconds of work for 10 seconds rest. So a lot less rest than we did last week, but you're ready for it, you can do it. However, if you need to take a child's pose at any point, do. Listen to your body, take a rest. Big believer in that. Okay, so our first exercise is going to be that hollow hold to come onto your bottoms. I'm going to press play on my timer. Let's just turn the sound in so she doesn't shout at us. Okay, ready? Come into your hollow hold. Legs at 90 degrees, upper back pulling in, fingers reach to toes, or if you've got more, straighten your legs. Squeeze your inner thighs wherever you are. Keep drawing the ribs in, keep breathing, keep pulling that lower belly down towards the ground. You've got 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, come all the way up, 1. Come into your dolphin position. Grab your block, hands together, dome the space, and lift up onto your block. So you're either staying here or maybe raising a leg. You can have your standing leg bent. Bring the leg back down. Good, swap over, left leg lifts. Keep pressing the elbows down. Left leg lowers. Good, right leg lifts. Keep rounding the upper spine. Right leg lowers, left leg lifts. And left leg lowers. Pop off your block. Hop it to the side. Come to hands and knees. You're either going from here or you're going from plank. When you're ready, breath in. Exhale, round. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, round. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, round. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, round. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, round. Release. Back onto your bottom. And we're going again. Take a big breath in. Exhale, roll down. And so find your 90-degree angle. Take another inhale. Exhale, straight back in. Fingers reach towards toes. Maybe you straighten those legs. Wherever you are, don't let that lower belly lift. Slight tuck in your tailbone. Ribs in. Shoulders draw up. Reach for your toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, come all the way back up. 1. Grab your yoga block. Straight back into that dolphin. Okay, so yoga block between the feet. Hands together, round your upper spine and lift back up. Okay, you can bend the standing leg if you need to. Right leg lifts, comes back down. Keep pressing the elbows down, left leg lifts. Comes back down, good. Right leg lifts. Come back down, last one, left leg lifts. And comes back down, pop off of your block. Pop it to the side. You got 5 more seconds rest. Okay. Hands and knees. You can do it from here or from plank. Breath in. Exhale, round. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, round. Keep the core nice and strong. Squeeze your inner thighs. Squeeze. Round. Keep going. Keep squeezing the inner thighs. Good. You've got this for 3, 2, 1. Last round. Come on to your bottoms. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Come back into your shape. Find the 90-degree with the legs. Reach your fingers to your toes. You can stay here or you can straighten. Maybe drop them away. Good, keep going. Keep pulling that lower back down. Draw the ribs in. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Grab your block. Put it behind you. Spin yourself over to hands and knees. Elbows down, round the upper back. When you're ready, step straight onto your block. Stay here or right leg lifts. Comes back down. Left leg lifts. Comes back down, keep going. Right leg. Back down. Last one, left leg. Back down and lower. Pop your block to the side. Last exercise, last time. Protractions and retractions, you can do them from hands and knees, or you can do it from plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, round. Keep those hips nice and high. Try not to let them dump down. Inhale, lift. Sorry, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Push away. Squeeze. Push away. Squeeze, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. I know that was real tough. Not much rest in that one. But I just wanted us to kind of, like, it's good to be able to find the shape even when you're tired. So well done. Take a rest for a second, take a few rounds of breath, and I will talk you through our drill that we're gonna do. So we're gonna do the same as what we did last week. If you haven't had the time to practice, or you didn't get the time to do that class, don't worry, we're gonna talk through it. So the same thing that we just did with that block where you step your feet up onto your block in dolphin, but this time we are going to play with the kick up. So we're going to find that little bit of buoyancy first. So take another big breath in. Take another big breath out. Now, you can be near the wall for this if you would like to be. I'm going to encourage you to move away from it in a minute, but for now, if you want to be near a wall, that's totally fine. So you're going to find your dolphin. That block is going to come between your knees. Elbows are going to come down, hands interlaced. Round your upper spine before you get there, then tuck your toes, lift your hips, and lift your feet up onto your block. Have a little bend in the knees if you need to. Right leg lifts, and then from here we're just going to bend and straighten the left leg. And you kind of see how you're going to get a little bit of buoyancy. And then the next time that that left leg goes straight, kind of push off it a little bit more strongly. Maybe you find some balance. And then maybe you come back down. Drop your knees and rest before the left hand side. So everyone has a side, but I encourage you to just work on both, because otherwise it's very easy to become one-sided. Trust me, from someone that knows. So when we do the other side, really work on that kind of tipping motion rather than like a kick up. The less that you kick, the less brakes you're going to have to put on, so it's just going to feel a little bit easier to kind of find that balance. So let's go again. So elbows down, block between your feet, round your upper spine, tuck your toes, lift your hips and step up onto your block. This time the left leg lifts. So you've got that little bend and straighten of the right leg, see what it feels like. And then maybe the next time that your right leg goes straight, you find a little tip, lift up. Don't worry if you don't find balance, and then come back down. Drop your knees, and come back up. Okay. If you're not finding that tip feeling, don't worry about it at all. I just want you to kind of be as controlled as is possible. We're going to do one more round each side, and then we're going to have a little play without the block. It's going to be very, very similar. The only difference is the block gives you a little bit more height with your hips, and so that tipping feeling becomes a little bit more easy. You could also do this if you're not finding that tipping at all with your foot on a chair. It's going to give your hips obviously a lot more height, and it might feel a little bit nicer. So if you want to try it on a chair instead, go grab yourself a chair, or even something like a little bit higher. I've done it on 2 blocks before. The problem with 2 blocks is they're a bit wobbly, but feel free to give it a go. Okay, so let's do that one more time. So, feet between your blocks, elbows down, round your upper back, find that hollow position that we worked at, and that rounding between the shoulder blades. See, we're not doing things for nothing. Round your spine, pick up your hips, and then stand up onto your block. Raise the right leg. Left leg is slightly bent. Now really press into the elbows, take a breath in as you bend, and then as you exhale, this time a little push. Find some balance maybe, really press into the toes. If you want to bring your legs together, feel free. If they don't come together, don't worry. And then come back down. Rest between rounds. Sometimes it's really tempting to like keep kicking. I get it, so get it. If you don't get it in 3, I want you to take a rest. Okay. Rest is important. Chances are if you're not getting it in 3, you're probably slightly finding the wrong sort of pattern in your body, and so you're not going to kind of find that balance. So let's go again one more time on the left hand side. Okay, hands together, outside edges of the arms pressing down. Press down to round, slight tuck of your tailbone, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Stand on your block. This time left leg lifts. Take a breath in as you bend your right leg. Breath out as you little kick and lift back up. Maybe you find balance or maybe you don't. Little kick, come back up. And then when you're ready, come back down. Okay. So, if you are finding balance, or if when every single time you kick up you always hit the wall, I want you to have a little go either further away or in the middle of the room. The thing about going up to the wall, like even I find it, and I know I can find balance in the middle of the room, is psychologically you know it's there, and so you tend to kind of rely on it a little bit more. Like I'll ramble. Just trust me. Sometimes you just have to go for it in the middle of the room. Put cushions around you, except you might end up kind of roly-poling out of it. It's definitely happened to me before. But sometimes you just got to take that step, and I promise you it will make you less likely to overkick. Okay. So if you want to go a little bit further away from the wall, go a bit further away. If you're like, no, I still want the wall, it really, like, honestly, it's really up to you. So go near the wall, but we're going to go without a block this time. Interlace your fingers, outside edges of your arms down, press and round, tuck your toes up your hips. All of a sudden, your dolphin feels real weird. Okay, from here, right leg lifts, same. Take an inhale as you bend your left leg, and an exhale as a little force, so more about like a little bounce. You maybe find some balance. Keep pressing through the outside edges of your arms, press through both of your toes, and then come all the way back down. Remember, if you don't find it in your 3 kicks, don't worry about it. Come back down, take a rest, and we're gonna go again. Take a big breath in. And a really big breath out. I'm very aware of time. It's only supposed to be a half an hour class. So we're just gonna do one more, but I really, really encourage you to take the time to just practice these. Like, even if you just say to yourself for 10 minutes a day, you're gonna practice them. Like, it's enough, okay? Interlace your fingers, palms together, hands down, round your upper back, tuck your toes, lift your hips, and raise your left leg this time. Breath in as you bend. Breath out as you find that little bounce. And find some balance. Keep pressing through the hands, pressing through the toes. And then when you're ready, really think about pressing the shoulders away from the ears, so don't hunch up. Come back down. And rest. Good. Okay. Let's stretch this out a little bit. Come down to lying on your belly. When you get there, you're gonna bring your right arm out like a T shape beside you. T and L. So your shoulder's in line with your elbow is in line with your wrist. You're gonna look over towards the left-hand side, but if the floor feels really far away, your left hand can become a bit of a pillow. And then you're just gonna roll yourself over. You can bend your left leg if you would like, but you're just kind of rolling yourself over onto your right hip. So you're really stretching across the front of the right shoulder, into the right side of the chest. Think about being quite heavy through the right shoulder, through the right elbow. And take some slower breaths. And then you're just going to go all the way to the other side. So right hand comes in or becomes your pillow. Looking over to the right, left side of the face to the ground. Left arm is that T, L shape. And then roll yourself over onto your left hand side. And close your eyes. I like to have my knees bent because it kind of encourages me not to make this into some sort of back bend. Slow breathing. Okay, and then roll yourself back onto your belly. Bring both hands alongside your ribs. Bring yourself up to a kneeling position. When you get there, shoulders back. Close your eyes. Just take one last breath together. Full breath in. Full breath out. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, just let me know. Send me a DM or something about kicking up, then just let me know. Otherwise, I will see you for our last class on Monday.